Hi there guys and welcome back to Jank Quest. Today we've got another PTCG deck profile for you, but this time we're revisiting a deck that debuted on the channel about 6 months ago now. That deck is the Origin Form Palkia V-Star with the Ice Rider Calyrex. This is a deck that's seen quite a lot of competitive play since it came out in Astral Radiance last May. The variant even won the World Championship Junior Division, played by Rikuto Ohashi. Largely successful due to the access it has to great energy acceleration and the versatility that all the support cards give it, especially with the attacks being so low in energy cost, both of which are only 2 water energy. However, since the introduction of Lost Origin and Silver Tempest later last year, it's taken a step out of the spotlight to make way for other archetypes that have come through, such as Giratina, Lost Box and Lugia. So today we're just going to revisit to see if this is actually still a top deck and if it's still competitive. So starting with the lineup, we have how we originally started with the 2-2 line of the Palkia V and the Palkia V Star, alongside the 3-2 line of the Ice Rider Calyrex V and the Ice Rider Calyrex V Max. So the main attacks we're looking at here, with the same strategies, we're looking at setting the Calyrex up and using Max Lance as early as possible. So this will allow you to discard up to 2 water energies at a time for an extra 120 damage plus the initial 10 damage, giving you an output of 250. Once that's discarded, obviously we want the Palkia set up so we can accelerate back with Star Portal. To support this, we are still playing a 2-2 line of Bidoof and Bibarel. However, this iteration, thanks to Crown Zenith, we now have a new variant of Bidoof with a Carefree Countenance ability, which stops damage to it on the bent, which allows you to set up a bit more effectively than before without the risk of losing it early game. And obviously the second line of Bibarel to go alongside that, using the Industrious Incisors to refill your hand to a hand size of 5. Also supporting in this lineup, we're going to play 2 copies of the Luminion V, which allows us to search out for our support cards. Still playing the 1 copy of Radiant Greninja, which allows you to discard an energy and draw 2. 1 copy of Pukamuku, again for that ability, Picture Pukamuku, which lets you put it to the bottom of your deck and draw the top card. And then a slight change where we've taken out what used to be Starmie V for a counter in this deck. Now we're playing 1 copy of the Drapion V. With the prevalence of Mew V Max still about, this seems like a nice addition to the deck. So supporters for this deck, we are going to be playing 3 copies of Irida and 3 copies of Melanie. 2 great cards to have in the deck. Obviously when you're playing with both of these, it allows you to get to your outs a lot quicker. So Irida allows you to search your deck for a water Pokemon and an item card. Allows you to get set up really early on, and Melanie for the energy acceleration, allowing you to put 1 basic water energy onto a Pokemon V and draw 3 cards for doing so. In addition, we're playing 1 copy of Boss's Orders for that gusting ability, 1 copy of Roxanne for hand disruption late on in the game, and then the 2 new additions that we've got to this is Serena, which adds a secondary gust ability for Pokemon V, or allows you to empty your hand and draw again, so all supporting each other nicely and complementing Bibarel's ability. And the last support that came around in Scarlet and Violet is Arven, which is quite an important card now, seeing as Irida can't find out your tool cards anymore. Arven will allow you to get that item card as well as a tool card. In terms of our item cards, we're still playing 4 copies of Ultra Ball and 4 copies of Cross Switcher, alongside 3 copies of Trekking Shoes. Now Virida's ability to pick out an item card, it allows you to be quite versatile in terms of the plays you can make, so we'll run quite a lot of one-offs. So the first one-off we've got is a Battle VIP Pass, which is great for initial setup. This deck really enjoys going first on turn 2 to get that VIP Pass into play. And the other one we have is the Echoing Horn, which actually replaced the Cancelling Cologne from the initial list. Great addition because it allows you to bring something back from the discard pile that you can then easily KO again. Then in terms of new cards, we've got 2 copies of Nest Ball coming in from Scarlet and Violet. This basically replaces the Quick Ball option. And unfortunately, because we've lost Capacious Bucket, we are now looking at 2 copies of Energy Search rather than the Bucket. And then we're rounding the list off with 1 copy of Switch to replace what used to be the Air Balloon, and 1 copy of Lost Vacuum, which replaces Tool Scrapper. Lost Vacuum's great. Obviously you're discarding to the Lost Zone rather than the discard pile with it, but it allows you to remove a Stadium in play or a tool card attached to a Pokemon, yours or your opponent's. And obviously Switch just comes in as that basic switching ability rather than the Air Balloon's continued ability. With the standard format rotation happening on the 14th this month, the new ruling says that tool cards are now their own. So we've got the 2 copies of Choice Belt still in the deck. Again, this is why Arven's included now as a supporter, because it allows you direct access to that should you need it. And then the stadium of choice for this deck is still going to be Temple of Sinnoh, as it puts down quite a lot of countering options to quite a few good decks in the meta at the moment. Still disrupt Arceus, Mew and Lugia as well. And then just to finish the deck off, we only play basic energy in this one, and we are running 9 copies of the basic water energy. And that concludes the updated deck list for rotation this month. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, it really helps the channel. And we'll see you again soon.